We don't know what the future holds for us. One day it could be us. We might be needing this service one day. You never know. So why not give back now while you can?
I've learnt that, when you're driving down the road and you see someone lying in the shop doorway, they're people with feelings and wants and needs.
This is Down to Earth Conversations, where we hear from ordinary people who are helping to bring a bit of heaven down to earth. Kia ora, welcome to another episode of Down to Earth Conversations with me, your host, Andy Dixon. It's December and we're nearly wrapping up for the year with just one episode to go after this one. It's a busy, crazy time of the year for many, but it's also a time that can be really hard for those doing it tough. For those living on the streets or those who have accommodation but can't afford the necessities of life, without support, life simply isn't manageable. Orange Sky is an organisation based out of Australia that, through a huge number of volunteers around Australia and New Zealand, offer a free service to allow people who are doing it tough to wash and dry their clothing and to have safe hot showers at the same time. They've got vans kitted out to allow portable service to visit different locations on different days. Brodie and Raina are two of Orange Sky's volunteers based here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch. So on a very wet and very miserable day, I went to meet with them at their Christchurch base in the Kairos Food Rescue warehouse. You may hear the rain on the warehouse roof come and go throughout the episode, but that just serves to remind us how important it is that Orange Sky exists and gives these services to people who have to live out in this kind of weather. We talk about what Orange Sky is and how they both came to be involved. We talk about the types of people who use the service on offer and the difference it makes to them. And we talk about what Brodie and Raina have learnt from volunteering for Orange Sky. This is episode 84 of Down to Earth Conversations. Here's Brodie and Raina of Orange Sky. So I'm here today in the Kairos building. And for those who have listened to the podcast, we've had Kairos on the podcast before. And I'm sitting here today with two volunteers from Orange Sky, Raina and Brodie. So kia ora, welcome to the podcast.
Kia ora.
Do you want to just introduce yourselves a little bit for those who are listening so they know who it is that I'm chatting to?
Well, I'm Brodie. I'm the service coordinator for Christchurch. So we've got a van here that's fully equipped out with 2 wash machines and 2 dryers and a shower. And then I also look after the indoor washing here at Kairos, which is 4 washing machines and 3 dryers.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Raina. I'm a team leader for Orange Sky. I've been there for about a year and I love it.
Nice. And so, I mean, we've mentioned Orange Sky several times. You talked about washing machines. A lot of people won't have heard of it. So do you want to just tell us a little bit about what is Orange Sky and what you know of how it came about?
So back in 2018, there was 2 young guys based in Australia who decided to launch Orange Sky service in New Zealand. And we know about homelessness and people in need, and, with increase of living costs going up, it's not as easy, Some people that are in social housing might not be able to put a washing machine on, or a day like today being so wet and rainy, they might have done their washing this morning, being such a fine morning, and now the weather's turned to a rainy, wet day.
Yeah.
How are they going to be able to dry their washing? Good one for us right now is being Friday afternoon, or Friday morning. This afternoon we've got a shift here where we've got dryers that they can come and dry their washing for free.
Yeah.
They don't have to pay anything for this service because we get funding for this. This is the best service for those sorts of people that are in need, and we know that there's a lot of people in need. So Orange Skies operate 28 shifts across Aotearoa. So Orange Skies launched in Christchurch here in May 2022, and since launching the service in Christchurch, we've completed 1,422 loads of laundry.
Wow.
We've provided 728 safe hot showers, and we've engaged in over 2,500 68 hours of conversations and connecting with our friends that are doing it rough.
Yeah. That's amazing. Just the practicalities of that you're doing this thing for people or providing a service for people that's obviously really useful, especially those who are living on the street or living rough, or, like you say, that they might have accommodation, but they don't have the money to pay for the power or whatever. So that's kind of a big part of it. But then you're also talking about these hours of conversation, because I guess someone comes in and sticks on some laundry, and then there's time, isn't there?
Yes.
Your laundry doesn't just magically finish. So is that part of your role? Do you sit around and chat?
Yeah, that's a big part of our role. There's a lot of people. I've noticed a lot of elderly people that just come and haven't seen anyone for days on end. So they'll come down and just talk. And there's just a lot of people out there that need someone just to talk to.
Yeah. Like you talked about vans, you've talked about machines. There's a whole bunch of consumables, no doubt. Who pays for it all?
That's a good question. Even I don't know the answer to
Yeah.
that. All I know is we get funding. That's all I know.
Right.
That's all I know. So at the end of the day, we've got head office is based in Australia. At the end of the day, they organise everything for us. I get told what's coming in the way of supplies.
Cool.
We've also had donations. Like last month, we had a big massive donation from Westpac.
Yeah, cool.
They donated us a whole lot of towels, a whole lot of bath mats, free toothpaste and free toothbrushes for our friends. And I think it's just, we get donations from people, and we're so lucky to be able to team up with Kairos and have a partnership with them for them to allow us to actually be based in here, which is good. They, our friends come and get a meal, and, they're washing it and having a shower while they wait. They get a free meal out of it, and it's a free service. That's the big thing. It's a free service. Raina, the other week, had someone actually come up to her and ask, well, how much is it for your service? And it's like, we're a free service. You don't pay anything. And I think they went back and got 2 bags of washing or something.
It's pretty phenomenal when you think about the consumeristic world that we're in. This capitalist economy where, like, you could try and make a buck out of this. But actually that's not the heart of it. The heart is people. And I've personally not been in that situation, but I can imagine that it must be just so dignity giving to be able to have a shower, to freshen up, to have clothes that are washed and clean, and that make you feel human again.
Yeah.
And to have people to talk to while all of that's happening, so, well, maybe not while you're in the shower, but
hey, we could just chat through the door,
So how did each of you first hear about Orange Sky, and what made you want to get involved? We'll start with you, Raina.
I saw it on Facebook, and I was doing a diploma in social work.
Cool.
But because of the bureaucracy and things like that, I left that field and joined Orange Sky, and it gives me as much joy as what I get, as happy as they get. When they leave with a smile on their face, and you might have made their day.
Yeah.
So I like that. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you were doing that kind of social work direction, so you obviously had this heart for people anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
And then Orange Sky's been an outlet for that. And one where you've managed to find a home for yourself. Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Brodie?
So mine comes in 2 ways here. So my background is my family actually work in the health sector. So, and then I went and did a degree when I was younger in mental health and all that.
Right.
So that's one side of me coming into it, but it's also because of my job, my main everyday job, that Orange Skies actually employed us to actually clean their van so it looks good.
Right.
But instead I turned around and said to them, well, no, because you're a charity, you're not going to be paying for it. I'm going to come volunteer for you to give back that time. Because, without them getting volunteers to actually help, they wouldn't have a service. Without me and Raina to be able to drive the van or even go there, our friends wouldn't be able to have this service.
Yeah. I love the way that life brings you these little opportunities where, you might not even know something exists, and suddenly it's like, well, can you come wash our vans, or, things like that, and go, oh, wow, actually I could be part of that. And I think for me, and this is something I'm challenging my listeners all the time, is to go, yes, we can go looking to find something, but what's already happening in your world, and what are you noticing, and then how can you get involved in that? And I love that story of, that was a really natural kind of way of finding your place here.
Well, just here in Ōtautahi, we've got over 75 volunteers that are on our database. Not all of them come and do shifts. Some of them are flexi, so if we need people, they'll jump in. But there's also people behind the scenes that do this as our support team, across Australia and up north. There's our vehicle leaders who maintain and service the vehicles to make sure that they're up to scratch so they can get on the road. There's our team leaders. There's me and service coordinator. Without me, these guys would probably be lost. They wouldn't have uniforms. They wouldn't have stock.
Yeah.
And, they wouldn't... some of our volunteers...
Someone's got to organise stuff.
It's just communication.
Yeah.
We come back to conversations. Everything has to come around a conversation.
Yeah. Do you see the same people on a regular basis? Are you able to build relationships with people, or is it more just kind of drop-ins, or...
Yeah, we've got a couple of our friends that are regulars. We've got Roy, who seems to go to every shift, and he's the loveliest.
He's wonderful.
Friend, yeah. There's a couple.
Yeah, no, we get the same people at New Brighton. There's sort of about 5 people that are always... They might not do their washing, but they'll come. So you just see the same people.
Come for a chat anyway.
Yeah, and we're slowly getting more people coming in.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And one thing I've noticed is, days like this, and we can hear the rain is now happening in the background. As days like this, when we can't take the van, there's no point of taking the van because we've got no way of putting up a gazebo or anything to be able to shelter our friends. Some of them may even just, if we were going out and it started raining, some of them might even just stay there for the conversation. They might not even come to do the washing.
Yeah.
Or a day like this, tomorrow if it's fine, we'll go out.
Yeah.
And they'll come just for a shower, just to warm up.
Yeah. So the vans that you've got, you can just go park up. Do you have regular spots that you go to?
Yes. So we've got
regular times, so people know you're coming.
Yeah. We've got regular times and regular spots. So we've got 6 shifts a week, and then we've got one that's every second Saturday.
Right.
Based in our square.
Yeah. I love that. As you've been talking about the service, you keep saying, our friends.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's really, again, dignity giving. You're not saying our clients or our, the homeless people. There's not a label there. They're just people, and they're people that you're connected to somehow. And I think that's one of the things when I heard about this Orange Sky, one of the things I love most about it is just how much dignity there is involved in just treating people like humans,
Like I've said to all of my volunteers here, it's not homeless people. It's not people. Well, yes, it's people experiencing homelessness, but it's not. It's the people. We need to change the outlook of this homelessness to people in need.
Yeah.
Because a single mum who's on a benefit, might not have the money to be able to wash the kids' clothes or to be able to put them through a shower because hot water, power is expensive. To be able to feed her children first before being able to do this. And especially with kids going to school and stuff, she can be coming to use our service anonymously.
Yeah.
We don't need to know who you are.
Yeah.
We don't care what your needs are, what your background is. We're here to help you. That's our main thing. We're here to help.
Well, that rain's getting loud. It's
Gosh.
I guess it highlights the advantage of having a big warehouse like this to be in, because, like you say, you can't go out in the vans today.
No.
But you've got this space, and so you can still open this up on a day like today.
No, so when Kairos first started, when they first moved into here, all of our wash machines were not here. The big Portacom shower unit wasn't here. The van actually got brought in here every shift that it was here. So it's here every Monday and Friday afternoon from 4:30. So they used to bring the van actually in here.
Cool.
So our van back in, I want to say 6 months ago now, went away and got a big upgrade where they made it hybrid. So hybrid is solar panels, water on board, self-contained, could go out in the middle of the country and be able to be used for at least 6 loads of washing.
That's amazing.
And a couple of showers. So we were lucky enough to get brand new machines in there, and instead of, getting rid of the old machines and just throwing them away, they've been repurposed to build an indoor facility here.
That's cool. Yeah. I think that sort of thing goes to the heart of a lot of organisations doing this sort of work as well, that like you don't want to waste anything.
No.
It's you know how much people are in need, and so it's like, well, how can we use what we've got? So yeah, no, that's great. Raina, what sort of responses do you get from the people who are using the service?
Oh, they love it, and they love just that you're there and that you're the same person. So they come and chat, and they'll have a shower, put a dressing gown on, and we'll wash their clothes and sit and talk to them. So everyone leaves happy. It's more the communication.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's cool. I hadn't actually thought about that they can even wash the clothes they arrived in.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then we've got dressing gowns, and we'll wash and dry their clothes for them.
Oh, that's awesome.
So some people have just got the clothes that they've got no other clothes.
Yeah, we've had a couple of friends that have come where they've only got a single pair of clothes. So our Hornby shift, we've also teamed up with Hornby Community Centre, which have got an op shop there.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough this was one of our first or second shifts where we had one friend come. That was just one pair of clothing. That's all he had. He'd been living rough. And now he's got a couple of pairs because we're able to go to the op shop, and because we're teamed up with him
awesome.
in partnership, we were able to get him some more clothing. So now I think he's got 4 pairs, and especially during winter as well, when we first opened up a Hornby shift.
Yeah. And
as you can see, with winter being so cold and wet now, he was so grateful for it.
That's cool having, again, you can see other needs, but Orange Sky doesn't have to be the ones that actually meet all the needs.
No.
You've got what you do, and then you can connect them with other places.
And that's the thing, even if we can't help them, we've got the connections to be able to help them, If it's something to do with housing, we've got the connections to be able to pass them along, or pass their details along to someone else to be able to help them with that,
Yeah.
There's just those little things in life that you just need that little bit of extra hands.
Yeah.
Will help to know. And, some of these people are homeless. They don't have access to a computer or internet like some of us get to. So, we're the ones that are able to provide them that details and be that middle person to be able to give them.
Yeah, they can't even look up where to find support.
That's the thing.
Yeah, wow.
And I think that's the other thing is, these days everyone's like, it's all internet, because we're trying to go to a digital age. But there's people like this, elderly, don't know how to use a computer, don't know how to use a smartphone, how they're supposed to know about these things,
Yeah.
When we've got, I want to say, half of our volunteers are under 30. Well, not under 30. Under 40. They're under 40.
Very, very young.
Yeah, they're the younger ones that know where they can find this sort of stuff quick and easy.
Yeah, sure. I just love how all these different things come together to bring life for people, that whether it's helping them find something on the internet, or whether it's washing their clothes, or whether it's having a conversation. There's all these things that just are treating people like people and going, you deserve love just because you're you, which is so great, because so much of the way our system is set up gives them the opposite message, doesn't it?
Well, we know that need and demand is getting is getting worse out there, because just in Aotearoa alone, we've delivered more shifts than we ever have. And here's a statistic for you. In August this year, we delivered twice as many shifts as the same time last year.
Wow.
And in the last 3 months, just here in Christchurch, Orange Sky has provided 300 loads of washing, provided 284 safe hot showers, and engaged with 492 hours of conversations and connecting with our friends that are doing it tough. Just in the last 3 months.
So it's hard out there for people, eh?
It's getting hard.
Yeah.
And it's just going to get harder and harder, because costs are going to keep going up, the living costs are going to go up.
Yeah.
But the funding is not going to go up.
Yeah, and so any organisations or any people that are out there that are doing the little bit to help people actually makes a huge difference.
Yeah, more Kiwis are struggling to make ends meet now than what they were
a
year ago.
And we know that. I was saying before, we own a business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that business is doing it really tough this year.
Yeah.
Our sales are on average 60% down on last year, and so we're having to look at the business and go, is this viable?
And people are trying to blame COVID for it, but we were seeing this before COVID even hit. People are trying to use COVID as a cover up for everything happening, but it's not. We've seen,
it's almost like COVID accelerated today, but it was already
it did,
happening.
But it was already happening. This was already happening. This has been happening for the past 5-10 years now.
Yeah.
It's just been on the down low. We've heard more about it because of COVID, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, on a recent episode, I was talking to Sarah Page, who heads up the Kindness Collective Foundation, and one of her things was, if government agencies are referring people to charities to provide the basic services, there is something severely wrong with the system. If the ones the agencies that are supposed to be doing the helping are referring people to charities because they can't help, actually this whole thing is broken.
And the thing is, where's charities supposed to get their funding from to be able to help?
Yeah. And even, we as a business have been sponsoring a couple of charities, and as we lose money, there's less money for us to give.
Yeah.
And it's just a big cycle, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the means and you're out there listening, think about what you could do with that and how you can support organisations like Orange Sky.
Well, people can donate. They can go to our website, orangesky.co.nz, and there's a donation tab there to be able to donate if they want to.
Yeah, cool. I'll put that in the show notes too, so people can find that really easily.
And we're always looking for volunteers as well, so that's on our website also.
Yeah, cool. And that's in New Zealand, that's Auckland, Hamilton, Wellington, Christchurch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. What do you guys love most about volunteering here?
I love volunteering for Orange Sky because I just like helping people in a practical way.
Mm.
It makes me feel so good, when someone's happy. It makes me happy when they're happy.
Yeah.
So I get just as much out of it as our friends.
Yeah.
I just and I've developed relationships with a lot of our friends, and getting to know them, and I just like I get joy out of it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you, Brodie?
Mine's just to give back,
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we don't know what the future holds for us.
Yeah.
One day it could be us that's a friend, We might be needing this service one day. You never know.
Yeah.
So why not give back now while you can? Because you never know when you're going to need the service yourself.
Yeah. One thing I've found in the past when I've had opportunities to serve people and to do the sort of things that you're doing, is that I've learnt a lot about myself and a lot about the world through it. What are some things that you guys have learned about yourselves or about the world from volunteering here?
I've learnt that not a lot of people know about our service.
Yeah.
We've had people come up to us sometimes on a shift and they've asked, what is this service? What is this? We had one a couple of weeks back. We're at the square. The New Zealand police came up to us and asked, what is this? And I turned around and said, have you not heard of this through your service? Through your job? And he looked at me and said, no. And I'm like, well, maybe we should be teaming up with each other to be able to let people know, that are doing it rough.
Yeah.
To pass on the message that there is this service, because people just think that it's the Salvation Army or City Mission that's there to help, but it's not. It's also our service, We're just one of many services around Aotearoa that can help.
Yeah, I find that astounding about the police. I've talked to several people about the fact that I was coming to do this interview and explained what Orange Sky was, and none of them had heard of it. And so I think, that is a thing, that there are so many people out there doing little good things, but the way to spread the word about them is actually quite tough.
Yeah.
Social media algorithms and stuff mean you only see the sort of things that you like looking at, and if people haven't clicked on stuff, then it's not going to come up for them on their feeds, or and then getting the word, particularly to the people who actually need it, and especially if, like you say, they don't have internet or.
That's the thing. You've got to try and look at it from a marketing side of things, of how can you market it to these people that are not going to be able to see. They're not on smartphones. They might not go to malls to be able to see a poster or something. How are they going to know about this?
Yeah. And that's where having those relationships with other agencies and things is probably pretty crucial, eh?
And gone are the day of putting an ad in the paper, because papers are not paper anymore. It's all digital these days, so it's hard to know.
Yeah. What about you, Raina? Is there anything you've learnt while you've been here that?
I've learnt that, when you're driving down the road and you see someone lying in the shop doorway, you really didn't used to sort of think much of it. But, they're people with feelings and wants and needs. And I've just learnt a lot about people in general, that, they're not always as you see them. I've met homeless friends that have just got the most amazing thoughts. I've learnt a lot.
Yeah.
I've got a guy teaching me chess at the moment. And things like that. Just
cool.
Love it. I just love it.
And it comes to Roy. Every time we see Roy on a shift, now I'll describe him for you. He's probably mid-30s. He has headphones on, but it's 4 pair of headphones on about 4 different radio stations to catch up on news, sport, politics, and he's basically a walking encyclopedia. A walking encyclopedia.
Yeah.
He's got the best knowledge. He's always telling us something new that we didn't even know about.
Yeah, right.
He's the most loveliest guy ever.
Yeah. I think there's that stereotype, that people who are experiencing homelessness are a particular kind of person, and usually it's someone who is unintelligent. Usually it's someone who's made bad choices. And yet, in my experience, it's actually more often that life has happened.
Yeah, so when I was younger, we sort of were not really taught, but sort of the thoughts of what homelessness was, someone that's a criminal or someone that's done bad or tried to play the system and...
Or they got addicted to drugs.
Yeah, it's the drugs, the alcohol. But it's not. It's real life.
I've also met people that are on the street that have had they'll get a house and they can't deal with the house. It's lonely, like they're sitting in their house and they need people around them. So they'll give up the house just to be with their friends on the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's some people just can't deal with with the loneliness of
Yeah.
being in a house.
And I've spoken to a couple of our friends now where they've made the wrong decisions. They've gone inside prison. They're in prison for 2-3 years. Then they get released. They've got nowhere to go. That, according to what corrections are supposed to be doing, is that, speak to their case manager. Their case manager is supposed to help them find housing, or, we've got all these social housing and all this. But they're not getting that help.
Doesn't always happen, eh?
So, that's why, and that's the other reason why we're seeing so much crime at the moment as well, is because they could go, they could do a crime and go back inside and get a roof over their head, free meals, their washing done, shower, all this that they should be entitled to outside in the community.
Yeah.
But they can't get it, so they're choosing to do these crimes. And the other thing is loneliness.
Yeah.
They're going in there so that they can be with other people. Like we've seen with some of these people on the streets that they are in groups, but it's just so they've got not support, but the conversation,
safety and
the
friendship
safetiness.
and,
So while one person sleeps, one person's awake. So if anything got stolen or anything happened, they can alert, sort of thing. And a couple of them had their, they've got animals, dogs. And I don't know if it's dogs for protection or dogs for friendship, or if it's they've had animals, they've been kicked out of their places.
True.
But the other thing is, I know from a couple of them, they've had housing. They've decided to leave their housing because the housing complex, there's drug use in there, and they've complained about the drug use.
So actually trying to get away to be in a safer environment. From your experiences here, and as we kind of get to the end, most people who I know have got no connection to anyone who's on the streets or doing it that kind of tough. What would you like people like that to know about people that come and use your service?
I think the biggest thing that people need to know is, don't judge. The people, they're real people with, problems, and don't. That's probably my biggest thing is, don't judge. And think about people on days like this. It's pouring with rain and they're sleeping, in a shop doorway. You drive past them and don't think anything of it. You've got your perception of that homeless person, but that's why they're our friends, because they're on the same level as us. Yeah. So that's probably my biggest message is please don't judge.
Oh, thank you both for giving up time today to chat with me.
That's all good.
Thank you for all this amazing work that you're doing for people that are doing it tough, and for the sharing of friendship and the sharing of compassion. I just think it's an amazing thing that you guys are doing. So, thank you for what you're doing to bring a bit of heaven down to earth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, hello heaven. Will I hear you whisper to come near?
Orange Sky is another example of someone seeing a need and figuring out how they can do something about it. And it's making a difference in lives all across Aotearoa and Australia. And again, it's about recognising the humanity of others and treating people with love and dignity. Raina and Brodie, it was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for who you are and for what you do. Here is a blessing for you and all the other volunteers of Orange Sky. As you clean and dry clothes, may you know that what you are doing goes way beyond what people wear, to the cloaks of dignity you are wrapping around their shoulders each time they come in. Every time someone showers in your facilities, may you know that it is more than just dirt being washed from their bodies. They are also cleaning off the mud of shame and humiliation that have been thrown on them as a result of their circumstances. Each time you have a conversation with one of your friends doing it tough, may you know that you are helping to cure the disease of loneliness, to fight the pandemic of hopelessness, and to let people know that they have more value than they could ever know. As you support those doing it tough, may your own hearts be filled to overflowing with the joy and beauty of life, connection and goodness. And may you know that every little thing you do for each of these people gives them a little glimpse of heaven amongst a world that often seems like hell. Lastly, as you see and hear and love those using your service, may you know too that you are seen, you are heard, and you are loved. Thanks to Strawn for the music and Rangi for the karakia. Join me next time when we hear the remarkable journey of Donna Dyson, an Australian literacy educator who, in her own words, lost her sight but gained her vision, and who, having become blind, found the beauty of music and the gift it can be for others all around the world. It's a really special and hope-filled episode to wrap up the year on. Make sure to join me. Until then, me inoi tātou.
E tō mātou matua I te rangi, kia tapu tō ingoa, kia tau mai tō rangatiratanga, kia mea te tau e pai ai ki runga ki te whenua, kia rite anō ki tō te rangi. Homai kia mātou ai nei, he taro mā mātou mō tēnei rā. Muro mātou hara, me mātou hoki e muru nei I o te hunga, e hara ana kia mātou. Aua hoki mātou e kawea, kia whakawaia, engari whakaorangi a mātou I te kino. Amen.